we have fled Canadian churches.
Yes.
Attendance dropped dramatically. In my lifetime, from 70% to less than 17% of weekly attendance.
Right.
Why?
Yeah, big story. Some people would say, well, part of the reason is that we replaced the church with the state. And so that many of the things that the church used to do for us, taking care of other people and so on, we brought in social welfare state. So we didn't need the church for that anymore. But also I think after the Second World War, you have increasing affluence, you have an incredible emphasis on education and people being taught, think for yourself. And a questioning in the culture, we found ourselves in the culture questioning that traditional authority.
And yet, still Canadians would say 75% of us are at least theists. We believe in God.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is we did this study, embryonics, for the United Church, because they were interested in people in their middle age. And they knew that, because I had found it in my books, that there's this spiritual quest. There's a quest for meaning. And because when you get rid of religion and traditional religion, what are you going to replace it with? Well, you're going to replace it with materialism, hedonism, fun, and what people find is that that's not enough in their lives. There's something else that's going to give them meaning. Now, family gives you meaning and so on, but then there's also this quest for community that you also want to have as well. So what we found is that people said, yeah, I want a church, and I want to be able to discuss religion with other people, or at least, actually, not religion so much as the eternal questions, like why am I here? Where did we all come from? Where are we headed as a species? Are we a good species or are we bad? What about other religions? What do they have to say?
And what guides did they reach for in
well,
that? If they're not going to church, if they're not going for teaching.
So they're kind of drifting, right? And remember that in their youth, they rejected religion. So there's kind of a bias against religion. What the church needs to do is not provide definitive answers, but a context in which people can have respectful conversations with each other, so they can draw out then that connection of respect for each other and trying in some way to help us at least figure out what the questions are and some hypotheses about what the answers are, so we humans can live together without killing each other as we've done in so much of our history.